everyone. It's Arizona Cardinals Cast, 10/17/2022. It's Monday. I'm just going to be real with you guys. If you want a pom-pom, fluff, kind of rah-rah cheerleader for the Arizona Cardinals, you're on the wrong channel, guys. I'm going to keep it real. When the Cardinals win and deserve praise, I'm going to give it to them. When they lose and they deserve criticism and a little bit of frustration, I'm going to give you that too. I'm not going to give you the fluff pom-pom. So if you want that, you want to go on Twitter and say, I still love my Cardinals. Oh my goodness, go Cardinals. It'll be okay. We'll come back tomorrow. Nope. Then just stop watching right now. You want me to keep it real with you? You should be pissed off as a Cardinals fan right now, just like I'm going to be pissed off for you. So we're going to go and talk about the Cardinals' loss at Seattle, 19-9. You lost to Geno frickin' Smith, 19-9. The guy who flamed out with the New York Jets, the guy who's been sitting on the bench for the past 5 seasons as a backup. The guy who, and you remember in 2016, you beat 28-3. Actually, that was Ryan Fitzpatrick. Sorry, I keep mixing up Ryan Fitzpatrick and Geno Smith. Anyways, all right. See, I'm mixing up my words, but we're going big picture because big picture is why the Cardinals lost this game. We're not going to talk about the Kenneth Walker, having a big game, getting a 34-yard gain on a trick play and having a couple of big runs. We said he was an explosive runner. Cardinals had 6 sacks. The Cardinals defense balled out. The defense played well enough to win, and I know, oh my God, Drew, but the one possession that they made it a 3-point game, Seattle went down and scored a touchdown. I know, that's what bad teams do. What bad teams do is when they actually have a chance to come back, they fall apart. But you can't blame the defense even for one crappy possession at the beginning of the fourth quarter when they actually balled out the entire game up until that point. It's not the defense's fault why you lost 19-9. And the only reason why you got 9 points is because Michael Dixon muffed the punt, and I don't know what the heck he was doing after that, after he kind of bobbled the snap. I don't know, but you know what? Well, everybody on Twitter is kind of making jokes, so it was just pity points for the Cardinals. Just pity points. So yeah, in the first possession, we're like, oh yeah, the Cardinals, first quarter, first possession, go down, great drive, Kyler running, got 3 points, and then the rest of the game, the offense got nada. Anyways, 3 reasons why they lost. Number 1, Cliff Kingsbury's game management. Also, what the heck are you doing with your protection schemes? Going for it twice on 4th and 2 because, the points would have kind of mattered in the low-scoring game. But no, we're analytics guy. We go for it always on 4th and 2. But the thing is, it's not working, it's lost. And I'm going to tell you right now on this channel, if the Cardinals lose at home to Andy Dalton, if you lose to Geno Smith and Andy Dalton with a guy you're paying $230 million to in back-to-back games, yeah, the coach has got to go. And this is what I'm saying. Yeah, your job is on the line this Thursday, Cliff Kingsbury. I don't care that you just got a contract extension. This, as I said, the blood is on your shoes there, Michael Bidwell. You want to save face with this fan base? If you lose to Andy Dalton and Taysom Hill on Thursday night and DeAndre Hopkins return, you have lost 9 straight home games. That is unacceptable. Really, Cliff Kingsbury, he is not an NFL coach. I've been telling you this for a long time. I'm trying to back up. As I said, you want to go and, be, oh, look, I'm Missy Cardinals fan. Look at me with my pom-poms. Wrong channel. Go somewhere else. Go to Twitter and find all those happy Cardinals fans. I'm not a happy Cardinals fan. As I said, we're going to talk about if they go 2-15 this season, we're going to be here talking about the Cardinals every day. That's what Arizona Cardinals Cast do. But we are going to keep it real. When you need to get drilled, you need to get drilled. After that performance, you need to get drilled. Number 1, Cliff Kingsbury's game management. That goes back to multiple games, but especially this game. Number 2, Keim's roster building. You know what? The defense has balled out really since halftime of the Raiders game. All right, this is what they've given up in the last 4 games. 20 points, 16 points, 20 points, 19 points. Your record is 1-3, which actually falls on number 1 on Cliff Kingsbury. But Matt Amendola single-handedly pretty much lost the game for the Chiefs in Indianapolis in Week 3. You sign him off the street, he looks, scared like a chicken on the road. More scared than a chicken on the road. Maybe that's not. Maybe scared like a deer in the headlights. I don't even know. Who cares about the metaphors? All I have to say is that When that guy went out there to kick the 43-yard field goal against the Eagles, you knew he was dead man walking. You knew he was not going to make that kick. So what do you do, Cliff? What do you do, Steve Keim? What do you do? Let's re-sign him again. And then that proves your head coach, Cliff Kingsbury, does not trust them to kick 2 field goals that they definitely could have used. It was a 42 and a 43-yard, very makeable field goal that the Cardinals could have used the points, when they were down 6-3 and when they were down 9-3. But no, because they don't trust the kicker, Cliff Kingsbury. I'll cut him a little bit of slack, but cannot cut you slack on this one, Keim. Cannot. You have built a very flawed roster. I know every team in the NFL has a flawed roster. Look at the Packers. Look at the Bucks. Oh, my gosh. Look at the Ravens blowing all these big leads. We're not talking about those teams. We're talking about the Cardinals and your terrible roster building. You bring a kicker back that should not, honestly, I'm not saying Matt Amendola. I'm sure he's a nice guy. He pays his taxes. But bringing him back for another game was lunacy. And he missed an extra point, and the coach didn't trust him to go out and kick a couple field goals that if you had a kicker you could trust, maybe the game is different. Maybe the game is played differently down the stretch. I felt like Geno Smith was begging to give that game to the Cardinals, as expected. Geno Smith was very confused by the Cardinals' pass rush in that game. And guess what? Your lack of roster building, especially with a kicker, with kind of lack of depth on the offensive line, it's on you, Keim. It's on you. It's on you. And honestly, you probably, on Thursday, you might have to cut Cliff loose, but trust me, unless Vance Joseph saved your butt and somehow the Cardinals get to 8 or 9, 9-8 after they fire Cliff Kingsbury after they lose on Thursday, you're out too, buddy. You're out too at the end of the season, and you probably should be. Number 3, Kyler Murray's lack of development. Kyler's my guy. I think he is an electrifying player. He had 100 yards rushing. He's finally running, making things happen. But you can just tell right now, and I'm not saying Call of Duty, I know a lot of it has to do with the size. Look at Russell Wilson with the Broncos. Shorter quarterbacks do have sometimes, that's why you draft a lot of times like the Josh Allens and the Justin Herberts of the world get drafted so high and are doing so well because they're big, tall dudes. They could see over the line. They could read defenses. Sometimes Kyler just can't see or make certain throws because he's 5'10". 5'10", maybe with some stilts on, and there is. But here's the thing, though, is that you could see, and I think a lot of it is coaching, but some of it also has to fall on Kyler Murray, some of what he said. I think Kyler Murray gives a crap. You saw him after that Raiders game, how fired up he was, and you could see just how special Kyler Murray could be. And that's why you cannot waste a talented quarterback's ability with the coach that is obviously they are not gelling. I said that Cliff Kingsbury is not an NFL head coach. That's why, believe it or not, I actually don't think Vance Joseph did that bad with the Broncos. I am saying if they lose on Thursday, get Cliff out of there, give Vance Joseph 10 games. I bet you the Cardinals play a lot better down the stretch. Maybe give Sean Kugler, I know he's an offensive line coach, maybe play calling duties. Really, that's the issue if Cliff goes. There's really no one else on the roster to really take over play calling duties, But what else do you have right now? That's all, Something's broken. A lot of times it's tough to fix it, and I don't see it. I just don't see it. I think that this was a game where we had to see something, and we didn't. Maybe I'll calm down. Maybe they come out. Marshawn Lattimore is not going to play this week. DeAndre Hopkins is returning. Let's go to what's next. Anyway. So what is next? Okay. What is next is somehow. All right. Let's go glass half full instead of glass half empty. Say the Cardinals find a way. They beat the Saints on Thursday. It's a winnable game. The Cardinals are favorites, small favorites in the game. Cardinals beat the Saints. They look good. Finally, the offense looks good. And say the Cardinals win 24-17. Niners lose at home to Kansas City. Very plausible, maybe even probable. Seattle loses at the Chargers, who are all sorts of banged up. Plausible, also probable. I honestly think the Seahawks are a great pick at +7 right now as my best bets, to be honest with you. How banged up the Chargers are. Justin Herbert's running for his life right now. But let's just say, realistically, they're both underdogs to AFC West teams, the top teams of the AFC West. Niners are 3-4. Seahawks are 3-4. Cardinals are 3-4, even though they're 0-2 in the division, and the Niners are 2-0 in the division. But their Cardinals have not played the Niners yet, and they've had success against the Niners, who honestly maybe slightly overrated. They got kind of their teeth kicked in at Atlanta yesterday. The Niners did, so maybe slightly overrated. The division's up for grabs. I'll say that. But if they lose on Thursday, I don't care if those other teams lose. Don't even wait till Sunday. Make the change. You got 10 days. I know. As I saw John Gambo. What's up, Gambo? Love your show, Burns and Gambo. Gambo said it. Could Cliff Kingsbury get Mike McCoy? Week 7, 2018, for any of you Cardinals nerds. Cardinals going to a Thursday night game against the Denver Broncos, kind of like the New Orleans Saints, in this situation. The Broncos are 2-4. The Saints are 2-4. But the Saints honestly look much better than the Cardinals at 2-4. The Saints have been competitive just about every game they played this season. Definitely look confident on offense, even though the Saints are extremely banged up. Chris Olave might play. Marshawn Lattimore's not going to play. Michael Thomas is not going to play. Jarvis Landry's not going to play. Really, if you think about the way the Cardinals defense is playing, the Cardinals defense, as long as the Cardinals offense don't turn the ball over, which actually has been the one thing they haven't been doing much this year. Kyler did turn it over a couple times, obviously the big fumble. But the interception, obviously, late in the game, that's just Kyler trying to make a play knowing you're down 10, down 2 scores with 4 minutes left. And it's 4th and 11. I'm not going to kick your teeth in too much about that, Kyler. But here's the deal. You lose. You lose to this Saints team, and say it's bad. Say it's 27-10. Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara are just running down your throat. The Cardinals have allowed 150 yards rushing. The offense can't get out of their own way. You got to make the change. That's when, as Gambo was saying, with Mike McCoy. Oh yeah, getting off topic. Sorry. Cardinals was 45-10 to Case Keenum and a Broncos team that was coached by Vance Joseph. Full circle. Cardinals go out and get embarrassed on Thursday, or even lose the game and just look sloppy and ugly and bad. Cliff's got to go, man. I know he just got a contract extension. Matt Rule just got paid $42 million to go, play golf. Cliff Kingsbury doesn't look like the kind of guy that plays golf. He'd probably just go chill in his mansion, with his trophy girlfriend or whatever, and and sip on pina coladas or whatever he likes to drink. Who knows? But you got to make the change. This thing is broken. As I said, I was very outraged when they gave these guys a contract extension after the finish of last year. I mean, the Cardinals were literally with the Bills, I would say, by all metrics and measures, over the first 13 weeks of the season, one of the best teams in football. And then, honestly, at the end of the year, they're one of the worst teams in football. You would say in those Lions and Seahawks games, the Cardinals looked like the second best team on the field, even though the Cardinals were, throughout the majority of the regular season last year, a significantly better team. And you could tell Pete Carroll made adjustments in the season. Cliff Kingsbury did not. Now this season, they come out and get boat raced by Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes in week 1. Okay, explainable. Awesome comeback in week 2. Week 3, just kind of a sloppy game against the Rams. You kind of write it up as just slow start. McVay kind of schooling you. Week 4, the Cardinals come out in the second half. Week 5, the Cardinals, another slow start, but really made great in-game adjustments. Just a couple plays here and there. They definitely could have beat the Eagles. This is when we get to that game last night was unacceptable. Unacceptable performance from the offense against